Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Raid Shadow Legends. And I realized because of things lately and also some busyness in my real life that I haven't had any time to talk about the Grim Forest. So this is a new game mode coming to Raid Shadow Legends if you've been under a rock. But I haven't really been keeping up with all of the info dumps that have been coming out from the major content creators across Raid. And I want to talk about this and what we know so far here on the channel for the first time on the Boilon channel, and basically doing I guess, a recap of everything we know so far, or the vast majority of it. I do want to say also that this map, this is their website. This is the Plarium website in the Grim Forest kind of, I don't know what you call it, like the web page for it. And originally, it was just this area of the old camp over here. And then they eventually expanded it down here to this section you can see at the bottom called the Black Shroud. Now, this unveiled literally today. And I mean, the only real thing that you could see here is that they added a boss node here, which shows the Queen of Hearts. Some of this stuff, an empty battlefield, could be just that, or it could be a trap. Step foot into the shadows and find out. This here, treasure awaits, or perhaps a gaping maw of chaos. So, there's been some boss reveals as well, which I want to talk about and cover here today too. And just the map is slowly expanding with this fog of war. Honestly, I am super excited for this to come out. I'm hoping that it's like no later than the end of December. A lot of people are telling me that it's going to be basically the later December patch. So I am really excited, especially with Christmas coming up, to have a brand new game mode to sink my teeth into. So we're going to be talking about all that in today's video. Before we get started with the rest, though, I do want to remind people that if you haven't started playing Raid yet, what are you waiting for? Or make a new account here with the recently reworked Narma the Returned. And also, you can get 3 new champions, Allure at account level 15, Tagore at 30, and Deacon Armstrong at account level 40. And also, don't forget to use the promo code Demon Slayer to get Tholan Falbeard absolutely free within the first 48 hours of a brand new account. So don't delay there. Okay, so there's a lot of things to talk about with the Grim Forest. There's a lot of things that I've been seeing, so I want to cover this kind of just from the beginning that they started posting information about forward. So there's going to be these little icons, right? We saw it on the map here. There's these footsteps here. I guess that's all we see here so far. Oh, wait, did I see this before? Or did this just change? Did this literally just change? Anyways, there's this. Is that a boss? Is that another boss? Familiar faces haunt the darkness. Will you step into it, face the enemies head on, or walk a different path? Okay, I swear this wasn't here a second ago. Literally, when I've been recording this video, but there you go. Uh, did it just randomly change? So I don't know. I've never seen this icon before, nor this boss, and I don't have the information about this either. Now, I heard that the Grim Forest is going to be releasing about 6 or 7 different bosses, maybe more. I don't remember. And then of course the main boss, which I don't have. I actually don't have the graphic, but it's going to be this giant tree boss, essentially, what I call Furl the Barkhorn's cursed brother, or something like this. So sometimes you can move through undeterred. Sometimes there's an ambush. Sometimes you can find treasure chests or grim charms. Now, I heard that grim charms are going to be like mods, like modifiers to your characters or to your run. They're going to make things a little bit easier or maybe worse, or make it harder, I suppose. So that's something to keep an eye on. These stages contain various enemies from waves of lower tier champions to mythical bosses. Again, I don't really recall this. There's some remnant summons. That's important to note, actually. If we zoom in, there's those remnant summons that you get from Cursed City. So we're going to find more ways to get this in Grim Forest as well, which is pretty awesome. And I guess, like Grim Forest, there's going to be a different gear set. Or sorry, like Cursed City, there's going to be a specific gear set that's going to be to this. We're going to talk about this as well. So moving on to the next, I want to talk about this Grim Forest squad and basically how you're going to be playing Grim Forest. There's still a lot of things that are unanswered a little bit, for me anyways, but this is going to be more of a mid-gamer and beyond kind of game mode. So essentially, there's going to be a normal mode and there's going to be a hard mode. And on normal mode, you need to make two teams of 10 characters. So that's up to 20 characters. Now, one question that I have, and I'm not sure, let me know in the comments down below if you've been following someone else who has answered this question. Do you need to fill the entire deck in order to start? So do you need 20 champions before you can even start Grim Forest normal? That's a lot of good characters to field. And for some players, this might take a while to get to. For hard mode, it's 2020. So that's going to be about 40 champions. So that's a lot, right? Like, I don't even know if I have 40 good champions. And how should you build your deck setup? right? I'm thinking that you should probably do this from the perspective of a more balanced team, right? I don't know, two or three nukers, two or three have some AoE revivers, two or three major supports, maybe a tank or two, these kinds of things that you would in like an RPG, right? Like a balanced role, some control characters, so on and so forth. And so that's what my thoughts are. For 20, though, this is going to be a lot of characters. And apparently, the nodes are chosen by random draws. So it says every battle in this game mode will begin by drawing random characters from these decks. You can only build your team to take on specific stages from their numbers. So we have some mechanics for some of the bosses so far, and some concern is as well, how can you, if it's completely random, then it's down to the fate of the cards. I want to make a Yu-Gi-Oh reference here, but anyways, because it's a deck, right? These are like playing cards, but you're essentially pulling cards from a deck and hoping that you have the right ones for the challenge that lies ahead of you. So there could be a lot of RNG involved in this, right? Now, there are some relics that are going to be available in the Grim Forest as well, which I want to talk about a couple of them. So the rares, because this will be the easiest, I suppose, to get in the game. The Steel-Eyed Cutter, where it has a 20% chance to ignore 5% of an enemy's defense when attacking. That's not bad. Like, for as far as rares go, an extra 5% ignore defense, this could be very good for PvE, DPS characters, clan boss, this kind of stuff, especially if it's not too difficult to get these relic materials. This goes all the way up to which the vast majority of players are probably only getting like a 3-star, maybe 4, probably a 3-star, right, on these kinds of items. So about 30% chance to ignore 5% enemy defense. We have the Hoarder's Cauldron, chance to ignore 10% of the target's resistance when applying debuffs. So it's okay. 10% is not a ton. And again, this would be up to like a 30%. It's okay. Some of the other ones, do I have? I didn't have the purple ones, actually. Where's the purple ones? No, I didn't have the screenshots for the purple ones. My bad. Or I'm missing a few of them. Let's go back and find those, actually. All right, we're back. My bad for not having them on hand. So this is the Revolting Seedling. This is the epic relics. When the wearer receives damage, has a 20% chance to heal themselves by 20% of the damage received. I don't know. I don't know about that one. Compass of Anaxia. Whenever the wearer is under a crowd control debuff, all turn meter fill effects increase the wearer's turn meter by an additional 20%. So that's not bad, and that can go up to like 50% at rank 4. So that's basically if they're under a stun, freeze, sleep, these kinds of things, right? Or I don't know if fear counts. Any crowd control debuff? That basically that anyone else turn meter filling them is going to be a lot more. So that's kind of neat. Legendary, so we have the Soulmark Crystal. Now this is nice, I think. This is more PvP applications. Once per round, where has a 50% chance of activating instant turn when one or more allies are killed. So I'm thinking in arena, right, when there's a big AoE or something, if your support character that has the revive has stone skin and then everyone else gets eaten up, then you basically get an instant turn and you are able to revive them immediately, right? So that is really, really good. Spore Burst Rod, when the wearer places a poison or bomb debuff, has a 10% chance up to 35 of placing a second one for 2 turns. This is going to be really, really nice for bomb debuff characters, both I would say in PvE as well as PvP. So I'm looking forward to this. This is going to go really well, I think, with my Commodus Dark Smile Bomber. So that should be fun. And finally, the Mythicals Coronet of Gloom. When all wear, which I have very few mythical relics. I think I have one. When all the wearer allies are dead, places a block damage on the wearer for 1 turn, has a 10% chance of placing this buff when a single ally dies. Okay, yeah, all right. Lens of Intangibility. Wearer ignores 10% of a target's defense. Great. At the start of a round, places a perfect veil on the wearer for 2 turns. While under this, wearer ignores an addition. Wow, this is amazing. This is absolutely amazing because it's like a guaranteed perfect veil at the start of the round, though. But it's still going to be really, really nice. And while under veil or perfect veil, so you could still get that, right? If you have other characters in PvE, if you still have other characters on your team that can do Veil or Perfect Veil, you're going to get this anyway. So this is an amazing relic right here. Now, also in the Grim Forest, there is going to be a new artifact set, and special thanks to Nub Raids. I do watch his videos a lot, and so he had this kind of thing set up here for the new Mercurial set for Grim Forest. Is a new 9-piece artifact set. So some of the bonuses that are going to be included in this is going to be resistance, HP, speed 8% at a 3-piece. At a 4, grants the wearer a total guard stack at the start of a round. Each stack blocks all incoming damage and any associated effects. So that's like a pure, like, complete immunity for one hit, I guess. But that's still pretty nice, both in PvE and PvP. Speed 12%. Grant the wearer total 2 guard stacks at 6 and 3 guard stacks at 9. And then 9 also places total guard stack at the start of the champion's turn if they have no. Okay, interesting. All right. Wait. Total guard stack at the start of the champion's turn. If they have none, this 9-piece is pretty cracked. More resistant, more speed. So lots of speed, right? That's a total of 32% speed at an 8-piece set. That is a ton of speed. Wow. Okay. This is really crazy. And there is 2 new bosses, which they also unveiled as well. The Mimic, or Treasure Chest, anyways. And the kits are quite something, right? So I do want to zoom in a little bit, starting from the top, I guess, and we'll try to work our way down here. So Plunder, Pounce, attacks all ends. Just the very basic attack, right? Deals additional pure damage equal to 5% of each target's max HP for each buff on them. So this boss basically punishes you for having buffs. Has a 50% chance of placing a decrease attack debuff for 2 turns. The last boss that really, I think, really punished boss were the Griffin, I think, which wasn't that difficult to, it would basically chuck back negatives off of him and then also clear positives. I don't know if it was necessarily punishing them, but you would lose it if they weren't protected. Lashing Spiral, attack one enemy, place a stun debuff for 1 turn, will attack all remaining enemies if the stun debuff wasn't placed. So if you resisted, I suppose, or you have blocked debuffs, decrease the turn meter of all enemies without a stun by 30%. I haven't seen a lot of bosses that actually reduce turn meter from us, right? I mean, this is pretty advanced kind of mechanics. Feeding Time summons a mini mimic to the battle who ingests the enemy with the highest crit damage for 4 turns. The mini mimic's HP is equal to 20% of the boss's HP and 70% of the boss's defense, and same resistance. At the start of the mimic's turn, the mini mimic deals damage equal to 25% of the target's champion's current health. That's a lot. After 4 turns, or when the mini mimic is defeated, the target champion is returned to battle, and the mini mimic leaves the battle. So basically, it's going to die in 4 turns. Your champion is going to die in 4 turns, or you have to kill it to basically release your champion. So it's kind of like a mini Hydra here, and places a 30% decreased debuff, a speed debuff on all other enemies for 2 turns. Okay. Lots of other passes. We have some of the usual ones. We have the Awaken passive. Basically, you can't exceed max HP damage. Damage from HP burn debuffs cannot exceed 1%. Turn meter reductions is 50% reduced in their effectiveness, so 100% is only going to be 50. Some other immunities here that's pretty typical on bosses now. And Fortune's Feast. For every 3 buffs the enemy team receives, decrease the cooldown of Feeding Time, which is this, which we just talked about, by 1 turn. So that's why, right? Otherwise, he's going to go around eating everybody on your team. So that is pretty rough. Like, you just need to do like very minimal amount of buffing, right? Like maybe just a speed up buff. That's like basically all you can afford. Otherwise, you're going to be really buffing this, and they're going to be doing it way more. So that sounds really challenging. And there's this, I don't know, what is this, like a hobgoblin troll kind of boss here? Fergius, the Trove Master, basically gold stuff. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit here on the mechanics. Mine. An AoE has 50% chance of stealing a random buff from each enemy. Can't Catch Me AoE places a 30% speed debuff and a 50% attack debuff on all enemies for 2 turns, stealing 30% turn meter. This effect cannot be resisted by targets under any buffs. So again, kind of another buff penalizing you for having buffs. The damage inflicted by the skill is increased by 10% for each gold-plated layer. Okay, so I imagine he's getting this through his passive and through other things. Hardened Avarice, there we go, places 5 layers of gold-plated on the boss. Each layer is equal to 10% of his max HP. Whenever a layer is destroyed, deal damage to him equal to the value of the gold-plated layer. Also deals damage to us, the enemies, equal to 5% of the gold-plated layer value. Fill his turn meter each time a gold plate layer is destroyed. and he cannot evade. So I guess he's just super heavy, right? I guess they're saying why could he evade otherwise? Oh, okay. 24 Carat Thief has a 10% chance of evading an enemy skill, and all the effects increases the speed by 5% and chance to evade by 2% each turn he is under at least one gold plate layer. So you need to kill him fast as well, otherwise this is going to start stacking. So the longer the fight goes on, I think the worse this is going to get. Some of the typical usual stuff here, immunities, we've already talked about this. And he's immune to speed down as well and turn meter reduction. All right, okay, so you just gotta like kill him really fast, I guess, is the idea here without maybe putting on too many buffs yourself. I don't know. Or maybe you just ignore some of this stuff here. But yeah, that's interesting. I mean, he could steal a random buff, so that's not great too. Like, don't put anything crazy on. Don't put any block damage and all that stuff. So wow. And that's just some of the stuff so far. Is there anything else changed? I mean, I don't know what boss this is. Maybe by the time I put out this video, there's going to be like another announcement related to this. I haven't seen quite yet. But there's just a lot of info coming out for the Grim Forest. I am super excited to see, what more comes out, when we're going to get it. We're going to be able to sink our teeth into something new. And that's really exciting for me, especially someone who's only been playing Raid for maybe it's going to be coming up on a year next month in January. And there was the Chimera, I suppose, which came out in November or something like last year, but I wasn't around when it released. Like I just started recently after. And so it's great to be here in the game when something new comes out and I can kind of see and experience this firsthand. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Are you excited for the Grim Forest like I am? And I'll be covering more news as it comes out later on as well. Things have just been a bit of a busy time for me in real life. My parents are actually visiting from Canada and living here in Germany. So I'm having to spend time for the next week doing that. So I'm still trying to get some videos out where I can here. That's going to be it for me. But before we go, just to remind you guys that you could use the QR code in the top right or the link below to get the recently reworked Narma the Returned from Knight's Revenant, and also 3 amazing epics, Allure, Tagore, and Deacon Armstrong at accounts level 15, 30, and 40. And don't forget to use the promo code Demon Slayer to get the legendary Tholen Falbeard, amazing DPS champion, within the first 48 hours of the brand new account. That's promo code Demon Slayer. That's going to be it for now, everyone, and I'll see you guys all on the next video. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll be greatly helping out the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.